3 important female scientists and their influence today. Marie Curie, 1867 to 1934, born Maria Sklodowska, was a Polish-French scientist who carried out research on radioactivity, a term she coined. Born and raised in Poland, she continued her studies in Paris in 1891. She studied physics, chemistry, and mathematics and earned advanced degrees at the University of Paris. In 1895, she married fellow scientist Pierre Curie. The couple discovered 2 new radioactive elements, polonium, named after Curie's native Poland, and radium. Along with French scientist Henri Becquerel, the Curies won the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics for their work on radioactivity. After Pierre Curie suddenly died in 1906, Marie Curie took over his professor role at the University of Paris. This was the first time a woman held that position. Curie won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911 for making it possible to isolate pure radium. She was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize and is still the only woman to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different areas. During World War I, Curie helped develop mobile X-ray units that were used to detect soldiers' injuries. Curie's discoveries paved the way for the use of radioactivity for medical, industrial, and scientific purposes common today.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jiggling.
And today we're learning all about scientists, but not just any scientists. They are women scientists, finally giving these women more recognition.
I'm so happy.
Yes, exactly. More women power, right?
Yeah.
So we learned about Mary Anning, who learned about fossils, and she helped with fossils. We have another scientist here. I'm pretty sure many people have heard about her before.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you heard of Mary Curie?
Oh, yeah. Since I was little, she was mentioned in every textbook that I had.
Yeah, I think she's one of the most famous, women scientists there is. So yeah, should we learn a little bit more about her and her contributions to science? Let's take a look.
Yeah.
In the article, it says, Mary Curie, she was born in 1867 to 1934. She was born Maria Sklodowska, was a Polish-French scientist who carried out research on radioactivity, a term she coined. Wow, so if anything like nuclear, anything radioactive, that was kind of her invention. Let's first take a look at what radioactivity means, okay? This is actually a harmful radiation that is sent out when the nuclei, okay? If you guys pay attention in science, do you know what a nuclei is? Well, that's the center part of an atom. And if that nuclei is broken apart, it causes this really harmful radiation. So if you think about nuclear power plants, and for example, tragically, the Fukushima thing that happened in Japan, the waste is radioactive, and that waste, the thing that comes out from that, is very harmful to living things in a very large amount. Okay, so that's what radioactivity means. Here we also see the word research. Research is a noun, and it is a careful study of a subject so you can discover new facts or information about it. For example, we can say, scientists want to do enough research about the planet before publishing about it in the book.
所以呢，我们的文章这个 research 它就是研究调查的意思，是当名词哦，所以我们就是 research on something 就是某事物的研究。那么老师刚刚提到的 radioactivity 就是辐射放射的意思。那我们昨天有讲到 scientific， 那这个字其实也可以放在前面， scientific research, medical research 代表科学或医学的研究。But you can also use research as a verb, but usually if it's used as a verb, we can pronounce it as research into something. 比如说 he spent 3 years carefully researching into reading problems of students. 那也在我们今天的句子看到一个文法。Right now, let's take a very quick look. 所以今天的 Language in Focus 要看非限定用法的同位语。那其实它跟形容词子句一样， 同位语呢有分限定跟非限定两个用法那么非限定用法的同位语呢是用来补充说明前面的先行词。那这个同位语呢，其实你去除也不会去影响句意的理解哦。不过你要注意的是什么呢？就是这个用法，它的同位语放在句中的时候，你们的前后就要加上逗点，与句子的其他部分隔开。那如果假如今天是非限定用法的同位语，它就是可以看成非限定形容词子句的简化哦。所以课文呢，其实也可以改写成什么？刚刚老师 Tiffany 的句子有一句很长，谁谁谁怎么了？最后出现 a term she coined， 其实我们也可以把它变成 which is， 再加上去也 OK。然而非限定呢的同位语，它也可以放在句尾，就像比如说下面这个句子好了 ，I'd like to introduce you to Tim, who is my boss? Or you can simply say, I'd like to introduce you to Tim, my boss.
Okay, let's continue reading. The article says, born and raised in Poland, she continued her studies in Paris in 1891.
所以呢，其实她是在波兰出生长大，然后1891年在巴黎继续读书哦。
Next it says she studied physics, chemistry, and mathematics and earned advanced degrees at the University of Paris. Oh my gosh, all of these subjects I'm really bad at. Right? It's so hard. Physics is basically the study of matter and energy and how things work. Chemistry is the study of substances and how they react when combined or in contact with one another. So think about atoms and chemical reactions, etc. Like this was really hard for me in high school. So yeah, it's amazing that she is so good at this and she got like advanced degrees as well.
Wow, 所以对这个其实对我很陌生哦。I was really bad at these subjects.
I know, my head hurts just thinking about it.
那就是对，我们能看到物理学啊 ，physics 它就是物理学。那 chemistry 就是化学。So Tiffany also mentioned advanced. What does it mean?
Yeah, okay. She not only studied these subjects well, she earned advanced degrees, okay? When you earn an advanced degree, it means it's an adjective. It means that it's something that you study at a very high or a very difficult level. So for example, if you're very good at a subject like math, you can take advanced math and learn about math at a more difficult level, like more difficult than the average things that you learn in school. Like, for example, in a lot of American schools, we can choose to take something called an AP class, which is called advanced placement. Okay, not only do you study about the normal subjects in school, but maybe you will learn, for example, AP English is you study English at a more difficult or at an advanced level. And with the AP classes, you can also earn credits to help with college in the future. Okay. Now, how do I use advanced in a sentence? We can say, Jonathan wants to take advanced science because he wants to be a chemist in the future. 加油 Jonathan.
所以 advanced 就是高等高阶的，所以比如说高阶的德文课，你就可以说that's an advanced German course. 那么 advanced 有先进的意思哦，我们可以拿来形容一些科技啊或农业啊我们东西，比如说 agriculture is becoming more and more technically advanced， 就农业是其实越来越先进。
Next, it says in 1895, she married fellow scientist Pierre Curie. The couple discovered two new radioactive elements, polonium, named after Curie's native Poland, and radium, okay? Again, remember, radioactive means it's a very, very harmful material from broken up atoms. And basically, polonium and radium, these are natural elements found in the earth, and they are very radioactive. They're not really used very commonly, but anyways, so those are like the elements we don't really want to touch, okay? We see the word here, element, which is a noun, and it means a simple chemical substance that consists of atoms of only one type and cannot be split by chemical means into a simpler substance. So if you're in school and you learned about the periodic table, like oxygen, carbon, those are all different. Yes, there's like 100 something? Yeah, luckily you don't have to remember all of them, but then you can remember the simple ones like hydrogen, oxygen, carbon. Those are all called elements. For example, we can say there are 118 elements on the periodic table, such as oxygen and magnesium.
所以 element 就是元素哦。那刚刚讲到第一个字 radioactivity 是放射嘛，所以它的形容词就是 radioactive。那polonium 也是其中一种元素，那这个字就是破。那然后我们 radium 就是镭。So 这两个元素，那其实 element 这个字有时候我们会说谁谁谁做什么事情是他很擅长的，比如 in one's element。比如说 Graham was in his element building a fire and cooking the steaks.
Next, we see the phrase named after, which just means to call someone or something by the same name as another person. So maybe like, for example, you could be named after your parents or your grandparents. For example, I think my mom named me after the jewelry company, Tiffany & Company. So I'm named after that. Yeah. What are you named after, Chickling?
I don't think I'm named after anything because I named myself. I made up my
your own
name and my parents were like, yeah, sounds good. Okay, you just go with that.
Or maybe your Chinese name.
Yeah, my Chinese name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm talking about Chinese name. Yeah, actually.
Okay.
But my Chickling, yeah, I named it myself.
So you're a unique person with a unique name, for sure. Okay, so yeah, that's what named after means.
所以呢，在1895年的时候呢，这个居里夫人她跟科学家同事结婚了。那他们发现了两种新的放射性元素，我们刚刚讲的就是 polonium and radium.
Next, we saw the word native. Okay, it's an adjective and it means relating to or describing someone's country or original place of birth. So, for example, I grew up and was born in the USA, so my native language is English, of course. For example, we can say, although Paul was born in Spain, he hasn't gotten a chance to visit his native land yet.
Wow.
He should go.
Yeah, you should. 所以呢native 就是土生土长的所以像 Tiffany 她就是 English native speaker. 那 native tongue 或 native language 都是可以指一个人的母语。Or we can also say 什么东西be native to something 代表这个动物或这个植物是原产于某地，比如说 the panda is native to West China.
Oh my gosh, so cute. I love pandas. They're so cute.
Especially baby pandas.
Yeah, they're kind of also like
they're
I don't
so
want to say
lazy.
dumb. Yeah, but they're
lazy.
like, they don't know what's going on. I love them. They're so cute. Okay, next, let's continue reading. The article says, along with French scientist Henri Becquerel, the Curies won the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics for their work on radioactivity.
所以居里夫妇他跟法国科学家这个什么亨利 Becquerel， 他在
I'm guessing French it might be Becquerel or something. My French is bad.
所以因为他们在放射性的工作，在这方面的工作，他们一起获得了1903年的诺贝尔物理学奖。
That's amazing. Here it says, after Pierre Curie suddenly died in 1906, Marie Curie took over his professor role at the University of Paris. When you take over something, it just means you're in control of something. So, for example, after Queen Elizabeth II died, her son Prince Charles took over as king.
所以呢take over something 就是接手，所以它其实除了接手接替，有收购公司的意思。比如说一间公司要被另外一间公司收购，那我们可以造一个句子 We guarantee that you won't lose your jobs when the company is taken over. You'll still have your job.
Good, I hope so.
所以1906年呢，这个皮耶居里就去世了，突然。那这个他的老婆，也就是居里夫人，就接替了他在巴黎大学的教授职务。
Next, the article says, this was the first time a woman held that position.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like an easy position. Like anyone can take over. 这很难的，你要
For physics, whoa.
对对对，真的。所以其实这也是第一次一个女性担任这样子的职务。
Amazing. And especially at that time. It says here, Curie won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911 for making it possible to isolate pure radium. When you isolate something, it means you separate something or somebody away from something else.
Right, 所以 isolate 就是分离，所以居里呢，他又得了一次哦，他是分离这个纯镭，就是获得了1911年的诺贝尔化学奖。
Next, it says, she was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize and is still the only woman to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different areas. Wow, that's so amazing.
真的，所以这个居里夫人也是第一位获得诺贝尔奖的女性， 也是唯一一位在2个不同领域获得诺贝尔奖的女性。
Next it says, during World War I, Curie helped develop mobile X-ray units that were used to detect soldiers' injuries. When something is mobile, it's an adjective and it means it can be moved around easily and quickly. For example, we can say, Ben makes the best pizza and has a mobile pizza shop. He can stop and make pizza anywhere.
So cute. I
Like
love
a food truck.
I love a food truck. 所以呢 mobile 就是或 mobile 是一个行动的移动的意思，所以呢像我们会看到那种流动医疗单位 you can see this a lot like in movies 就是如果有什么战争啊或者是有人要帮有人受伤了，我们可以说 mobile medical unit 就是流动的医疗单位。那 mobile 也可以自由的活动的意思，比如说 she's much more mobile now that she's bought a car 就还有车就可以四处的走动。所以其实在第一次世界大战期间，居里帮助开发了去用于检测士兵受伤的移动式 X 光机，听起来好困难。It's also complicated to me.
It is, but then like it's such a good, I think, invention.
It helped a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Next, the article says, Curie's discoveries paved the way for the use of radioactivity for medical, industrial, and scientific purposes, common today. When you pave the way for something, it just means to make it easier for someone to do something. Like if you make a new discovery, it helps people make newer discoveries or updates about the topic. For example, we can say the suffragettes in the 1920s paved the way for women's rights.
对，所以呢，这个片语 pave the way for something or someone， 这个 pave 本身就是有去铺路的意思。所以其实居里夫人的发现呢，就是为现在我们的医疗啊、工业科学的目的的使用放射性这些东西都铺平了道路哦。
Here we saw the word industrial. It's an adjective and it means things connected with industry. So like think about factories and machines. For example, we can say the Industrial Revolution transformed society by introducing machines to make work faster.
所以 industrial 就是工业的或产业的，是来自于名词 industry 这一个字，也是工业产业。所以像我们说旅游业，英文就是 the tourist industry.
So this is why Marie Curie is so famous. She really made a significant discovery, and I think it really paved the way for our technology now. Okay, now we are going to take a look at our For You chat. Okay, it says, what kinds of uses for radioactivity do you know about? How do they help people?
I think I've heard, it can be used to diagnose like illnesses.
Maybe cancer, perhaps,
or I think it can be used to treat cancers or different diseases, right?
Yeah, because when I was researching, I think I saw some of the elements that Marie Curie used. They were used before in medical treatments, but they don't use it now because it's too radioactive and it's too dangerous to humans. But I think the uses for radioactivity I know about are maybe for energy and medicine. Like for energy, for example, we have like nuclear energy, like nuclear power plants. And then maybe, and maybe for medicine, people use like the PET scans. Yeah, they use radioactivity for scans like that. And what you can do with those PET scans is that you can use it to remove and target cancer cells. So yeah, although it does sound really scary, but it is useful and it is safe to use.
So that's the reason of your hair might fall. Maybe that's one of the reasons, right?
I think because when you're treated for cancer, you have to take chemotherapy, and maybe it's not the best cure for cancer yet, but so far it's
the best.
It's what we can do right now. So it's up to more people, 加油, chemistry people who are people good in physics, chemistry, or who like medicine. Maybe you can 加油 and help us think about some new ways to cure cancer
in a maybe better way,
in a safer way for humans.
不然真的好像 sounds I don't know. I just get sad talking about this.
Okay. Well, let's not think about it. But thank you, Marie Curie, for her wonderful inventions and her discoveries. Okay, we do have one more lady to look at, but that's all the time that we have for today. So don't forget, we have another day to learn about another wonderful woman. So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Vocabulary Review.
Research. The scientists' research in medicine resulted in a new cure for a disease. Advanced. If you want to become a reading and writing master, take the Advanced Language Arts course. You'll learn a lot. Element. The tools in science class help us learn about tiny things called elements, such as gold and silver. Native. Stephen is writing a detailed book about the traditions of the native peoples of Australia. Mobile. George owns a mobile coffee shop that he drives to different parts of the city each day. Industrial. Jill bought an industrial machine to make the process of making bread faster.
智慧小补帖
Radioactivity. Physics. Chemistry. Polonium. Radium. Isolate.